Well, forgive me for being emotional. I think that you guys don't know this. I'm not a high-low guy emotionally. I never have been. And part of it, in '98, I lost my cousin. He was the pilot in the Navy. Stationed in San Diego, Coronado, and it was a helicopter crash. His widow comes to every game. She lives here in Atlanta. 2 sons. It was March 19th, 1998, my senior year of college. And I say that because I talked to you guys, and I told you guys I did a breakfast club this year with our group, and I've never been able to talk about my cousin. And I talked to our guys in the breakfast club about that. And I just told the guys, one thing I failed to mention is that to this day I still have a hard time looking at helicopters. There's just certain things you don't get over. Today's that day. I never had a personal relationship with Kobe. He's spoken to me a bunch of times, and he's always told me he respects me and he respects the work that I've done, and he's watched me from afar as a head coach and as an assistant. He said it to me in Philly. He said it to me in LA. And it's who Kobe is and what I know of Kobe. What I respect the most, I grew up on the West Coast. I'm a Laker fan as a child, and I've had to denounce being a Laker fan once you get into the profession. But I've always respected his greatness because of his detail and his passion and the intensity of which he plays. But there's nothing more than the respect I have for him as a father. Every image you see of him post-retirement is with his daughters and with his family. Everything you see online, on Twitter, is about positivity. He's encouraging others, retweeting positive comments to others. And I think it's been the biggest transformation of a competitor to a human being that I've ever seen. And that's the sad part about today, is he was someone that everyone looks up to, especially this generation of players. And to see the way he was coming out of retirement and playing to being just a leader of people, WNBA, AAU programs, children's books. We lost a leader. And, it's hard. Our locker room is shaking, the NBA is shaking, the community is shaking, everyone is. Because at the end of the day, you respect what he's been able to accomplish for so many years in so many different ways. So today's tough, as a competitor in our sport. It's really tough to navigate through today. Should we play? Shouldn't we play? It's not up to me. Today is not going to be the end of mourning. It's really just a start. And, I told our guys in there, I'm not a high-low guy, and why? And they understood that because of the Breakfast Club. They know my story. But it's a reminder of perspective as to why and to what, what's most important. And the now is most important. The who are you, who do you need to say hello to? Who do you need to reach out to? The perspective of all this is tough because Kobe's untouchable in a lot of those guys' eyes. Any questions?
When you think of what Kobe meant to the game and the sport, and sport overall, what stands out to you?
Well, in a lot of ways, when we speak of greatness, we speak of the accomplishments. What any competitor knows about Kobe is the work and the detail. The understanding of the NBA rule book so he can find an advantage offensively. Being there early, working on, footwork of one post move for an hour and the repetition of it. Hiring, and I know the guy, hiring Mike Procopio to do his personal scouting reports and know exactly how every defender is going to defend them, where they're going to help from. He paid money for a coach that wasn't in the NBA to personally scout how he was going to be defended. So when you think of greatness, it's not just the accomplishments; it's what he poured into it.
Would you rather not play tonight?
I don't know. It's I'll feel this way for a while. So I'm sure the players will. I don't know the answer to that. I think it's tough to play. I think it will be tough, and we've all experienced tragedy at some point, and the response is, individually you have to mourn and grieve how you feel most appropriate as a team. I don't know, how you do it, but I think we'll do what we're asked to do, and we'll try and make the most of it.
Trey's been very vocal on social media. I believe he trained with Kobe and was close with Kobe. Did you have any words, especially just to Trey, on how to...
No, we sat as a group, and a couple guys shared their individual stories that they have with Kobe. I'll let Trey explain his. But he had been in contact with them. I think they said it had been to 3 NBA games this year, and 2 of them were ours, in LA and in Brooklyn. But, they're all just kind of shaken up right now.
I can't imagine that you've experienced anything like this as a head coach. So if you do play, how do you coach a game like this?
Well, you definitely have to take in everyone's emotions, understanding that side of it. And, at some point, and I don't know if today is the day, but at some point, the perspective and the reality of it kicks in, and understanding, what do you learn? Especially from a player like Kobe, it's what would Kobe have done? How would he have approached it? What made him great? And to honor him is to duplicate what he's done, which is compete, prepare, be intense and passionate about your craft, your profession. We have a ton of young guys in there that are still learning the NBA. And that's, no better example of a player and no better example of a person. So I think it's really just understanding the emotions of the day and just moving forward regardless of, how guys handle it and keeping that